I don't think you can see me.
No, I'm going to record you in thirds. So third, and third, okay? So I might have to, it's basically to hear us all, okay? And then I can move the camera angle. All right, boys and girls, so for math intervention today, we are going to do something special. We're going to be learning about our new strategy, or applying the new strategy we learned. And the strategy we learned the other day in math is to help us solve word problems. Who could tell me what memory aid or what strategy that was? What did we do the other day in math? What strategy did we use to help us answer a word problem and answer all parts of the word problem? Jason, I love the quiet hand. Tide and POW? So we use POW and tide. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Can you give me a 5th grade POW? Yeah. POW and tide. But wait a minute. I thought that POW and tide was used for writing to help us understand the prompt and then answer all parts of the question. It's used for math too? Could you explain to the people watching or to the kids who might not have understood or been here how we use POW and tide in math? How is it similar to the way we use it in writing? How is it alike? What are the steps that we do? Meadow.
The way we use it in math is it says we're doing a prompt, but the word problem is that. And how helps us take all the stuff we need from the problem.
Oh my goodness.
Word problem.
Love it. So, I caught him. So listen to this, guys. Do you agree with her?
Yes.
In writing, we have a prompt. Usually we write to a prompt, okay? Not all the time. And when we have a prompt, sometimes it's hard to understand the prompt because it's multiple steps and multiple questions that we have to answer, okay? That we're answering. In math, we have a prompt, but it's called a word problem. And do we still have to comprehend that word problem?
Yes.
So the thing that we use to help us comprehend it is to go nice and slow and read it, and we use our POW. All right, so now you're going to tell me what POW stands for, okay? So, we know what it stands for in writing. Does it stand for the same exact thing in math?
No.
Kind of.
So, this is brand new information. So, let's see. Pick a stick. I picked 2. Emma. P, what does it stand for? What does it stand for, everybody? Excellent. It's a boy's turn. Jason again. What does the O stand for? Organize our? I caught it. What does the O stand for?
Organize our notes.
And boys and girls, how do we organize our notes? We make a what?
A tide organizer.
Ooh, I love it, but put on the brakes and back it up for 1 second. Before we make a tide organizer, how do we organize our thinking and organize the tide? We have to do
what?
everybody?
Do what?
Excellent. You guys are awesome. Now for the W. Everybody at the same time on the count of 3. What does W stand for?
Write more.
Okay. Now in math, are we writing a 5-paragraph essay?
No.
But who could tell me what are some of the things we do write in math? When we have to write and say more. When we have to draft up our answer, revise, evaluate. What do we write down? Scott, Zach.
I'm not Scott. Well, we gotta label the parts of the question.
What did he just say, George?
Label the parts of the question.
Do we always have to label our parts of our question or our?
Information.
Think of it. We have to label, give a name to the
Solutions.
answer, the actual answer.
If you find the answer, they won't know what you're talking about. They might think you're
whatever your quotient, product, or answer is, you may have more than one answer. You should always label it so the reader of the person and you also know what your work means. Got it? Okay, excellent. What is something else, Noah, that we could write? To write and say more and show our thinking.
We could write.
Let me say it a little bit clearer. So this is what we're going to work on today, and that's why we're going to do the backwards mapping activity. Not only do we label our work, we label our diagrams. Maybe you could write that right now, label diagrams, Meadow. Yep, the blue permanent marker. So the blue permanent marker is back in the chart paper. Excellent job, Noah. Now, what about, why did Miss Antonelli write revise up there? Or Meadow actually made the poster. Why do we have revise? We didn't discuss this the other day, but why would revise be in the right and say more? Turn and talk to somebody, a shoulder partner, and come up with this answer together. Why do you think it says revise? What are we revising?
Like double check.
I heard it over there.
I know why you revise.
Okay, and I heard it a few times. I have a lot of kids. Okay, first I'm going to start with Eva's group. Revise our work means we have to go back and write.
Revise means check your work.
What does it mean, everybody?
Check your work.
In Emma's group, you said double check your.
Where?
That's what revise means. We always add more when we revise to our writing. So in math, typically, we might have to erase and take away and edit, but a lot of times we revise and make our work clearer. Okay? Off the table, okay? All right. So that is how we do our PAL, ladies and gentlemen. Do you feel confident now?
Yeah.
Now this, let me explain today's lesson. That was our review. Let's have a seat and let me explain how we're going to use tide. No, you had a part, sorry. You know what, there's probably better because I don't want anyone right here. It's too squishy for me.
Yeah.
Right there. Because this will be in your way. Okay, so boys and girls, today's lesson in math is we're going to be focusing on, of course, seeing or looking at our students' work. We're going to be looking at Dakota's work. You see her name on it. She gave us permission. Okay? I had to twist her arm and bribe her, but okay. She gave us permission to look at her work. Now, I only could choose a couple of students' work because we would run out of time grading everybody, so every week I will pull somebody else's work for example. But I chose her work because it's exemplary. It's excellent. It has all of the things it needs. I want to show you an example of what I expect in what we on an exit ticket or even when solving a word problem in general. Now, I think that it definitely would receive a 3, the highest score in an exit ticket, because it answered all parts of the question. However, that's just me saying that. I want you to understand why. So what we're going to do to learn how to use tide in math, we're first going to look at what tide means in greater detail. Okay? And how tide can help us organize all the pieces of our answer to answer the final question. Tide in writing helps us organize thoughts for a paragraph or a 5 or more paragraph essay. All the pieces have to be there. So in writing, the T stands for what, everybody? In writing, the T stands for?
Topic introduction.
Okay, in math, it's a little different. In math, it stands for an action. So the action, instead of introducing the topic, is going to be the, what is it? Task. Task means the job you have to do. We already know that means the do what? Easy, simple. So let's do this. Dakota didn't label her parts tide. She didn't do it in a tide plan. She wasn't supposed to. Okay, she had the option, but she didn't have to. So we're going to look at Dakota's work, starting with the prompt to see. Did she do the POW by pulling it apart, and what's the evidence that shows that? And then we're going to see, did she do a do-what in her head probably, or something like that, and how can we tell? She may have done it written it on the paper, but how does she know what to do? Okay? And then we're going to put those pieces into this organizer. From her work, we're going to write them into the organizer. So instead of starting with the organizer and getting your final answer on your math exit ticket, we're going to backwards write it or map it out backwards. We're taking the final product and we're placing it on the organizer. Got it? Yep. All right, so this is fun. I enjoy doing this. Oh boy, you okay? Okay. Who could reread the problem to us so the viewers know what the word problem is, nice and loud and proud? Hey, Dakota, could you read your problem?
Kenny is ordering uniforms for both girls and boys tennis clubs. He is ordering shirts for 43 players and 2 coaches at a total cost of $658.35. Additionally, he is ordering visors for each player at a total cost of $368.51. How much will each player pay for the shirt and visor?
All right. So boys and girls, you're also familiar with this problem. How do we know that she pulled apart the prompt and was trying to pull it apart in order to understand it? Don't mind me while I adjust the video so I can show the other side of the class. How do we know, what evidence on her work lets the teacher and other kids know that she pulled apart the prompt? Noah, I see your hand going up. Noah.
Wait, say the question again.
So, when we read a word problem, in order to understand the word problem or prompted writing, we use PAB, the memory aid. We start with the P, which means to pull apart the problem. How do we know she pulled apart the problem in order to understand it?
Because she included all parts that the problem, all parts that are listed in the problem. She needed to multiply and divide. And divide, that's
Well,
how
what evidence in the word, did she highlight or underline certain things?
Yes, she did.
What did she do?
She underlined stuff.
She underlined stuff. What did she underline? The important?
The important.
She underlined the important information. So right now, we know that she was doing the POW. Okay, so on the top of your tide planner, let's do this so we can keep track of knowing what she did. Nope. Not right this second, okay? Write the POW. Did she pull apart the prompt? Yeah, she did. I'm sure she read it and reread it to do that, okay? She underlined the important info. There's one more thing, Henry, you need to do if you pull apart the prompt.
You need to
That we've discussed so far.
circle the question.
Circle the question. Guys, did she circle the question?
No.
Oh, let's double check. Oops, that's okay. Let me look. If she didn't circle the question, let's do that now for her. She still has the problem correct. That's okay. But, you know, we're just going through the motion, right? She still pulled it apart. We just don't want to forget to circle the question in math.
Thank you for your
Yeah,
I know.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's go back to our score sheet. Let's give her a check for pulling apart the prompt. What does the O stand for again, ladies and gentlemen?
Organize my notes.
Okay, how do we tell if she organized her notes? She didn't have this paper to do the do-what, but does her notes look organized on her paper?
No. I can't tell.
Okay, I think they look organized because I can clearly see everything. So this is what we're going to do. We're not going to backwards map this, but did she use a tight organizer?
No.
No, but she wasn't given one. So just let's write not available. NA.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? We can't give her a check because it's not her fault. She was just doing an exit ticket. Not available. And write and say more. She obviously wrote and said